Hey there, fellow citizens of the internet. Welcome to the Moses Kabandana podcast. Today I have with me Jeanne Omlor. I hope I did not butcher that name. So, Jeanne, welcome to the Moses Kabandana podcast.
Thanks so much for having me, Moses.
Awesome. So today we're trying to address a particular niche of people. You said it's counselors and coaches, right? And
So
we're trying to go ahead.
sorry, there's a delay. So it's coaches, consultants, and online service providers who I mostly help.
Right. And so specifically, you wanna help them figure out how to maximize online sales, right, without spending a lot of ad money, right? So
Right.
let's just start right there. Why is that important?
Well, it's important because a lot of people don't have a budget for ads, and ads are very, very difficult to make work. Now ads can work, but you need a very huge investment to pour down the drain with ads to make sure they work. So this is not a fit for a lot of coaches and consultants because it feels like they're playing, on the roulette wheel. It feels like they're in a casino throwing money down and gambling, which is really kind of what it is. I've tested a lot of ads just to make sure I know what I'm talking about. And they haven't really worked that well at all. Most of my earnings, and I'm a multi-seven-figure coach now, have been really through organic marketing. So it's my mission to help people who are coaches, consultants, and online service providers to maximize what they're bringing in while they're doing their mission of helping people without that whole gamble of having to do the ads.
Okay. Okay. So, obviously you're talking about organic growth, and most of us throw that word around left and right, and we don't really fully understand the importance of organic growth. Can you expand on that? Like, why is it that important to have organic growth versus uh, growth that comes from what is it? Advertisements in general.
Right. Well, they're both good. So I'm not saying that organic's good and paid's bad. However, for most people, you really need to get the organic in first. So that's a great question, by the way, Moses. So the difference is anything that is paid is not organic. So Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, YouTube ads, IG ads, TikTok, anything that's paid is not considered organic. All right. Now there's a little gray space here because SEO is organic, but you're paying for it often. So therefore, it's not really organic. If you're paying, $10K a month to get SEO done, it's kind of like ads then in a way. So SEO, if you're doing it yourself, that would be organic because that's the gray area. Now, anything that is unpaid, so that means emailing your list. That means now if you're paying a marketer to email your list, then that's not organic. It would be if you were doing it yourself. So there's another gray area. But for the people that are coaches who are emailing their list, that's organic because you're just emailing your list and you may get sales from that or traction or something. Now, the other part of organic that I help people with is social media platform organic. So for instance, say you're on Facebook and you're not running ads. I help people just to use their Facebook personal profile. Personally, I made $1 million in 17 months of getting online, mainly with just my personal profile on Facebook and a little bit of LinkedIn. I'd started a little bit of LinkedIn at that point. It's very simple. So it's really about content and messaging and simple marketing. Now, I'm at multi-seven figures with organic marketing at this point. Now, another organic marketing is a podcast. That's organic. A lot of people are starting podcasts. Of course, you may or may not be paying for it to be produced, but it's still not paying for advertising. However, to start a podcast is, as you know, it's a big job. So that's a much longer term, more difficult way to do organic marketing is the podcast. So the easiest way is on social media. Social media, organic marketing without ads. That's what we teach.
Okay. Okay. So before we go like even deeper into this, what's what's your story? Like how did you end up on this path?
Great question again. Well, actually, the story is I'll tell you the abbreviated version. I became a coach over 12 years ago. Was a newly solo parent with a 1 year old and a 4 year old in New York City. And I thought I need to do something where I can take care of my kids and be free, kind of like how you are, you know? But I started offline, so I wasn't free. So I was going out, networking events, having to get babysitters. It was a real hustle. And I was like, I was getting clients, but it was just a lot of stress, taking care of my kids, taking to the park, getting babysitter here and there, going out to networking events, getting clients, turning up, speaking, all sorts of stuff. It was public speaking. It was a lot. And then I thought, okay, that's all I knew. That's what my coach knew. My one regret was not getting online immediately because everything would have been different. I would have been like at multi-millions way earlier. I wouldn't have had to go through all that pain of in person. But it is what it is. I think maybe that happened so I could tell people the difference, sort of like ads don't work well and organic works. Offline, I've done all that, so they know I've done it. And I've learned a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I did work with a lot of brick and mortars in person and CEOs, so that's helpful, right? However,
Yeah.
when I got online 4 years ago, that's when my business exploded, when I figured out and cracked the code on how to get clients while I'm sitting at home and not having to run around and having the better lifestyle that I want. Because we can travel whenever we want and we can do whatever we want. I don't have to go to networking events. Every now and then I'll go because I want to meet people. But it's not as a lead gen. It's because I just want to meet people. And the rest is history. I just figured out how to make this work, did the work. And I didn't even have a team then. It was just me. And I had a Filipino VA for a few hours here and there, and I got to $1 million. So anything can happen. Anything is possible. And that's why people came and said, I want to learn this simple way. And I made everything so simple. No funnels, no this, very, very simple way of communicating with people and getting them interested and intrigued with what you do and them saying, yes, I want to work with you.
Wow, simplicities, huh? Well, so
Yeah.
then all that running around when you were actually having to be face to face with people, like how did that translate at all into a working online? Like how was that beneficial having all those skill sets? And like if so, like how?
Oh, 100%. I mean, it, it it's not the same. You have to learn the difference. However, what is the same is communication. So I was an actress for many years. I was a top executive recruiter for Wall Street for quite a few years, hiring the highest paid people on Wall Street. You obviously have to develop a way of communicating with all types, right? Also, I did a ton of traveling, and there's nothing better than traveling to learn how to communicate with people of all types, because you just have to communicate with people of all types. Poor, rich, blah, 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 kids, different countries. I was in third world countries. We were talking that I was in Kenya for 2 months at one point, a lot of other places. So yes, it did translate. However, you do need to translate it. You can't, it's not the same thing of, I used to say, and a lot of people say this, oh, but I'm so much better when people see me. Well, you got to get better even if they can't see you. And so that's the tweak, that instead of saying, well, people have to see me, if you keep saying that, they will have to see you and you're never going to be able to get online because it's a limiting belief. Okay. So then I thought, okay,
Right.
why am I saying that? And I've heard a lot of people say that now. Well, I've got to get better and crack the code that they have trust and they like me enough to want to work with me, trust me, see that I'm telling the truth and that we have high ethics in my company just on Zoom. But before I was just on phone calls. Zoom just started mainly during COVID. Most of my people, I would just sign them up with a phone call before. Zoom is new now with sales calls since COVID. However, Zoom is better because they can see the whites of you guys. They can see you and they can have more trust. But I was already $1 million coach before Zoom, before Zoom sales calls. So yeah, it does need to be translated. However, I did that. I figured out, okay, it's all communication. It's just a different box. You have to figure out how to communicate in a different box. That's all.
Huh. Okay. Okay. Well, so then people that are, let's say there's someone that does not have like any social media presence like today, right?
Listen,
And they're trying to get into it. It might literally feel like it's gonna be impossible because the social media landscape is just highly inundated. Now, 80% of things on there are really nonsense, but you might feel like it's highly inundated and you cannot compete. So how, how would you go about like encouraging someone to start having an online presence today? Is it even feasible?
well, I went through that, but what I realized is I had to not think about competition. When you start thinking about competition, you won't do anything. So I just thought, okay, this is the deal.
Mm.
I need to get online and I need to do it now because I was 54 years old 4 years ago. I was in deep, deep debt, single mom of 2 kids. And this is not working. I was getting deeper, deeper in debt. And I thought, I need to get online. I just need to do it. That's it. I got to do it. There's no ifs, buts, or excuses. I got to do it. That's the mindset.
Yeah.
I didn't go, oh my gosh, there's so many. I didn't think of that. I didn't look at that. I thought, I need to get online as myself because I'm myself, you're you, and nobody in the world is Jeanne Omlor, and nobody in the world is Moza Kabandana. Like I got it right out. So the point
Yeah,
is,
you have.
I don't think of that. I don't think of that. I didn't think of that. I thought,
Mm.
what do I need to do? I need to get online, I need to support my children. I need to make this happen because I'm in deep debt. It's not working. 54, if not now, when? What is going to happen if I don't actually do something? So I plonked down 10K on 3 different credit cards, went into deeper debt for a program that was not great, but it kept me online. I did everything I could, and I didn't get a lot of coaching in there, but I did make it. I thought, okay, I'm not getting the coaching I need, but I'm going to do this anyway. So I didn't complain about the lack of service. I just did it. Okay, I'm going to do this. And I started getting clients on the 8th week because I made a lot of mistakes. And I was like, okay, this is not like offline. Figured out my niche because I was doing general entrepreneurs. I thought, oh, these coaches really need me because they are suffering. And that was it. I thought, I'm a coach too. I really relate. And I understand all the struggles and the pain and all of that. I really deeply, deeply sympathize with coaches and empathize. And I know the problems, and I'm like, I can fix that. And we have. So that's the thing. The advice is just when you say, how do you get an online presence? Just get an online presence. I did a reel about I did a podcast episode about this the other day. And the answer is, how do I get online? And just get online. Stating and talking about it is not going to get you online. Taking action is what happens. And the remedy for everything is taking one step. I don't mean take action because that's like a general thing. The remedy for everything in our lives is taking one step. Think about that. It's the remedy.
Yeah.
The remedy is not sitting in a room thinking about something over and over and over again and then thinking about it again over and over and over again. That's not a remedy. That's killing us. That's just like this, just the synapses being, oh, I can't do that. It's so hard. Get online if you want to get online. If you want to be a coach, be a coach. We have helped a lot of people from scratch get online and become a coach all at the same time. They're getting online and becoming a coach because there's no limiting beliefs with us. We've done it many times. It works because we get past all that. So this is for people that are not coaches. This is for everybody. You want to do something. The remedy is take one step and stop the overthinking. The overthinking is a social modern disease, I think. This overthinking is not getting people anywhere.
Right. You can think really, really long and hard about hammering a nail on the head, but if you never pick up that hammer, then the nail's never gonna. Okay. So essentially, I like to say that break it down into the smallest possible step that you can take, and then take that small step. So it sounds like you're
Exactly.
saying the same thing.
It's a step. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So there's almost always a big distance between the conceptual understanding of something, at least in my head, and the actual implementation of that understanding. So if you're telling me the first thing that you need to do is create an online presence, right? Like, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna do that. There's so much distance between me understanding the importance of doing that and actually going through and creating an email if I don't have one. I think everyone has one at this point. Opening a social media account, taking pictures for Instagram and tagging and this and having to learn this entire landscape that is so new to me. And in
Mm.
addition to that, if I fall off every 3 months, every 9 months, the landscape kind of shifts. So if you haven't had a strong social media presence in 2 years, yeah, you're really just starting from scratch. Or is that a misunderstanding? So I guess the question here is, what is the biggest misconception, right, when it comes to people creating their businesses online?
Okay, you just said it. That's the biggest misconception right there. That all of that even
Okay.
matters. That doesn't matter. I had a coach come in. She had just gotten on Instagram. She had 3 posts on there. 3. Fresh. Relationship coach for divorced moms. Fresh. She came in and I said, I said, I see you just started. She said, yes. She was working full time. We started helping her to get $4,500 coaching clients because it doesn't matter. All that mattered is the people that came across her could see she could help them. If you're worried about views and engagement, yeah, you got a problem on your hands. It's not all about views and engagement. I know a guy, he has like 100,000 followers on Instagram. Guess what he makes in money? 0. Because there's not a leverage that.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, the point is not that. You could have 5 followers and get clients. I know coaches that have, a mere 9,000 followers and are making 100K per month. Few followers. Now I'm on several. They're only on Instagram. I'm on several platforms. They're just on one because it's not about that. That is just ego, and ego not in a bad way, but ego of, I got to take photos. And you already made that sound so difficult to me. I was like, oh, that sounds hard, what he just said. And if you're off, well, that means you're not actively trying to get clients. So, if you're off and if you're not on social media and you have no business, then who cares? You're not losing anything. If you're just there to get, I don't see the value in that, just being on social. I would not be on social media if I were not having a business. I probably wouldn't even bother being on there. Maybe just, I was on there before I was started, I was on there. My friends had to convince me to get on Facebook so we could text from Australia and use the texting there instead of, because there was no way of calling and a WhatsApp then. And I said, what? And my Canadian friend, she goes, you got on this thing called, years ago, you got to get on this thing called Facebook. It was 16 years ago. I said, why? She said, well, because then we could chat in Canada. I said, oh, okay. That was my response. I got on just because my friends are like, could you please get on so we can share news? So the whole point is to forget about getting on social media for the reason of getting likes and follows. The reason you're on social media is to get clients, whether you're getting likes or follows, because when I was on Instagram, I hardly had any followers and I was already getting clients. Nobody cared.
Okay. Yeah. Huh. So, man, well, so in an indirect way, it sounds like because if I'm coming to you and I'm currently not a coach, right? It sounds like one of the steps, I don't know what your 1 to 90 steps are, but I would assume that one of the steps in there is to help me understand a good or a service that I can provide to clients. Is that correct?
Correct. The very first thing we do with people that don't have an offer is we help. The first thing we do, because you have to have an offer to be able to sell something, we figure out who you're helping. That's called the niche or the avatar. Okay, so who are you helping? That's your market, niche, or avatar. And what are you helping them with? And how does that look? So, how many sessions? Is it one-on-one? A lot of my clients that come in, all we're helping them with is just figuring out a one-on-one offer that somebody is going to get on a Zoom call 12 times, and you're going to coach them on something specific. That's an offer. So this whole other myth, I need a program and I have to have all this built, another myth. That should happen after you're getting clients, because then you can figure out what they need. And that means your materials are going to be so much better because they're informed by need, not just, I'm going to create a course and hope people buy it. So really, it's important to know who you're serving, like these coaches, consultants, and certain online service providers, and what we're helping them with. We're helping them get clients. have a life, feed the kids, get this being a viable business. And our goal is to get people to make at least 10K months. That's the minimum that we want to help people make. Because anybody making 10K months, that's pretty decent, right? But yes, we need to figure out, what does that look like? And we're very good at this. I have people come to us and they're like, I just want to be a coach. I'm like, great. What do you want to coach on? Some of them say, I don't know. I'm like, okay, great. What are you good at? And then they just start telling me what they're good at.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this? And we start looking and brainstorm. And we come up with this aha, like, yes, wait a minute. I am really good at people and helping them with their relationships. Or wait a minute, I am really good at, this. And I've been helping people all my life for free with this, So people, and
Right.
often people have real skills, like real skills, like marketing skills or something like that, but they never thought of making that a coaching offer. So it's really sometimes just brainstorming.
Yeah.
One woman came in and it was like, what are you good at? Well, I don't know. I said, well, what? She goes, I was in corporate. I was really good at leadership. I said, she goes, yeah, I used to coach internally. I said, there you have it. Leadership coaching. She goes, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I'm good at. She hadn't thought of it.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, other
So-
people,
so-
it
so-
might
so then-
be,
What? No, go ahead. Go ahead.
other people, it might be actual technical skills. Like I have had IT people come and say, hey, how can I coach people on this or this? Or people that are really good at real estate investing. Like people that are really good at real estate investing. I helped this woman become a real estate investment coach. She got so many clients from scratch, high ticket.
Wow. Well, so what's the biggest bottleneck for people that are trying to become coaches online? Would you say that it's like, well, once you've helped them identify what is it that they're good at, and well, who they're trying to help, and what is it that they're trying to help them with, what's the biggest bottleneck for people to actually carry out that mission month after month?
Um, I mean, really, it's just about understanding that it's a business and there is work involved.
Okay.
But most
Yeah.
people understand. Most people understand that they're not going to come in and coach with us, and we're going to do all the work for them. We coach a lot on it. We really hold the hand. But most people understand that they have to do some work to have a business. If they don't, well, then that's a problem because they're living in la la land. But everything you do in life, a job,
Right.
learning piano, playing a sport, being a parent, going to work, being in a relationship, fixing the house up, cleaning up your trailer, all of this takes work. There are certain people online, for some reason, they think that becoming a coach should not be work at all. And I don't know where this idea came from, or being an entrepreneur should be easy and no work. It's almost this weird disconnect that everything else in life is going to take dedication and hard work. Just if they just merely understand that running a business is like everything else in your life, we're good.
Okay. Yeah. So right on that note, would you say that in the phase of building the foundation of your business, there's obviously going to be a lot of work involved, but then once you have scaled up, would you say that there's some level of automation that allows you to not be as involved?
Absolutely. It's called hiring team members. I have a team. I don't do everything I used to do. I do what I need to do that I want to do. There's certain things like I will still write most of my content because that's me. And I don't really want to have somebody running my content because then it would not be me. A lot of coaches at my level hire writers to write all their emails. And I know that won't be as good. So I've to writing my emails and my copy because it's me. And I know it's not going to be as good. And a lot of the reason why people coach with us is because they love my content. I had somebody come in today. She goes, I saw your content. It was what I need. So I don't want to water that down. However, I have a lot of team members, not a million because I like to keep it mean and lean, but a few team members that are key. So yes, you hire VAs and you delegate some of that off. I call it human automation because I'm not big on automating stuff where it's going to look like AI did it. It's not good. So yeah, certainly you can automate certain things. Definitely emails and stuff like that should be automated, of course. And there's systems you get in place to make payments automated. Absolutely. But as far as marketing, it's really about getting team members to help you with that.
So what is your next big milestone? If you can.
Well, I'm actually launching a podcast. I'm launching a podcast probably in about a month because I have a very specific launch. I have a very specific launch strategy, which is not simple, of course. So we're getting that ready.
Okay.
And I'm excited because I started a podcast about 2 years ago, and then it wasn't the right time. I just thought I'm not all in,
Okay.
and I'm not all in, and I'm not wanting to speak with a lot of people. I was going through something at that point, and I thought I'm not really all in, so I stopped it after a week. And I never do that. I thought, no, this is not for me right now. I'm glad I did that because I think it's really important to be clear on what's not a right time, right? And then recently, a few months ago, like 3 months ago, I thought, oh, I really want to do a podcast. I really want to meet more people, hear their stories, and I'm really all in now. So it's exciting. That's my next big project.
Okay. Well, so let me put you on a hot seat here then and just say, let's just create a pretend world here where you just got me as a client, and I'm trying to create a business online, and that business is to teach people how to create podcasts while traveling, right? For people that love to travel and they want to have a mobile podcast. And what do you do? How'd you go about it? We can take 4 or 5 minutes to just kind of do like a quick example of how you go about it.
Sure, that's a great offer, by the way. That's a fantastic offer, by the way. So that offer already has legs because a lot of people are starting a podcast and they need help, but they need really simple help. And a lot of the people doing it so techy that most people are like, I don't want to do all that tech. So if somebody came along with an offer that's so simple, how to simply start a podcast with very little tech, they would buy it. So that's good. Okay, so that's great. So the offer's good because I wanted to just qualify. How do you do it? Well, you've got to figure out, and I help people with this, like pricing, positioning, where to position that, which platform, pricing, positioning, exactly what you're going to do for them. So exactly what they're getting, and making sure that's hyper valuable, okay, and that it's going to work, and then figure out your lead generation and learn how to do sales calls. That's literally what needs to happen. Now, obviously, the part about the lead generation and sales calls, people need to.
Right. I like that because you're not selling the idea that hey, this is gonna be super easy. You're gonna work 30 minutes a day, and then you can go out and do your own thing, and that's it. You're saying, hey, there's some serious steps that need to be considered. And the reason why you need to follow the steps is because they have worked before for many other people. Now, it doesn't mean that every single person is going to be the same, but these are tried and true methods. But there's some serious work involved, right? It's not some silver platter. It's not like everything is just handed to you.
And a silver platter, yeah.
This is beginnings.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that they've taught other people. Did you want to add something more to that?
Well, yeah, I wanted to address what you're saying is that a lot of people that run ads present it like that. This is just going to work. It's so easy. Just pay us money. You're going to get a ton of leads and you're going to get your clients. It's never that easy. But people, especially coaches, want to believe that it's going to be that easy. So you're right. It's never that easy. And even with ads, you still have to create content for the people running the ads. You have to put a lot of money into it. They have to test. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people online saying exactly that. Oh, it's going to be so easy, plug and play, you're going to get clients. It's never that easy. It's not hard as far as, it's very simple, though. Simple. You just have to do the work. So it's not complex. Getting clients with that kind of offer you just said, not complex at all.
Yep. You mentioned
Right.
VAs earlier. Just for the sake of the audience here, can you expand on that a little bit? It's virtual assistants, correct?
Virtual assistants, yes. When you start to, you want to figure out what you're doing yourself so you know what that looks like before you start getting help because it's very hard to help other people to do something if you don't know how to do it yourself, right? But
Right.
I'm big on delegation. Once you fully understand how to do something and you fully understand how you could train that person, it's good to start delegating small tasks that are time consuming. And you do this bit by bit and you integrate those people and you build. And that's how I built my team. I didn't just hire 5 people all at once. I got one, integrated, hired another, integrated. So it's really good to delegate so you know that you can train somebody on how to do that task.
Okay. Okay. And has remote work been an issue for you at all?
It sure has been amazing.
Because I'm,
I
I'm
wish I'd
I'm
been
guessing that
remote.
these team members are like all over the place, right?
Oh yeah, no, that's not a problem. It's actually better because I never wanted to have an office. I don't want to have an office because then I'm not free. So I'm never going to have a brick and mortar office and chairs and equipment and people coming in and I don't want that. That's not the lifestyle I want. I want to
Yeah.
be lean and mean and also I want my team to be
Yep.
free. So yeah, we've never had a problem. Sometimes maybe like in the Philippines, they have storms a lot. So that started becoming a little bit
Okay.
of an
Yeah.
issue. So you have to really figure out like where they are, that they're near strong internet, you know. But there's other
Okay.
countries
Yeah.
that I have team members from other countries actually that are the time zone is better for me in South America. So we work with South and Central Americans more now as far as time. So
Okay.
yeah, well, it's
Okay.
really the only issue is you must train your team members and coach them. And this is a problem that people don't coach and train their team members and lead them. They just throw the work at them. It's unfair. Just, hey, dude, they're not explained. So you really need to get talented at leadership. And actually, part of my program, I was a leadership coach. So there's a lot of leadership sort of
Yeah.
ingrained in there. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. One of the last topics here that I want to talk about is motivation. Because if I remember correctly, well, maybe I'm just putting words into your mouth here, but that was one of the motivations for you at the beginning.
And you
Like,
learn.
would that be okay? Okay. How do you like if someone is going through the program, right, and they're hitting a bottleneck, how do you encourage someone to find motivation to continue? So like if I've started a business online, and you've coached me through, and I'm starting to get some clients here and there, but I haven't quite built the foundation, strong enough or long enough for it to have the results that I want. But there's some results that I'm seeing, but I'm starting to dip a little bit. And
Yeah.
where do you how do you go about coaching someone to build their own motivation?
Well, the thing is, I have a coaching team of 5. It's not just me. And one of those coaches is a mindset coach and a human. Yeah, no, we have coaching on
Mm,
all aspects. We have a heart-based sales coach. We have a content and copy coach that used to work for Universal Studios, running their video content department. We have a mindset coach. We have a planning accountability. We got me with strategy. So we have an incredible team. It's not just me because I believe that, I'm not the only person in the world, and I wanted to coach I wanted to hire other experts. So part of my team is the coaching team. Okay. Um, and we
mm,
have a very strong program because it's not all on me. We have a team support. So the motivation, we do a lot of mindset in my program, just a lot of encouragement and mindset and self love. So um, if somebody's getting clients, it's really about now creating the reps for that. You create the reps. You've got the fishing rod. You just keep doing the reps, and repetition builds muscle mastery and confidence, like playing piano. If you practice the piano, it creates confidence, mastery with the repetition, and you get better. So there's a lot, just the repetition of doing it and getting better, and your content gets better, and you see this wonderful thing happen called progress from the process. Okay, so what we help people be motivated is mindset and encouragement, and also that these methods do work. They see them working.
And then, yeah, yeah. Wow. Wow. So, in closing here, you, how long have you had this business?
So I have had this, I've been a coach over 12 years. That was 8 of that was offline.
Right.
I got online 4 years
Right.
ago. It's the same coaching company,
For you.
but the model changed to online 4 years ago.
Can you share a bit more about the online part of the business? How it started, the struggles that the business went through, if any, where you guys are at right now, and well, where do you see the business going in the next couple of years?
Okay, that's all great. So first got online. Because I knew nothing about online and I'm not techie at all. I am terrible at tech. I didn't even know how to use Zoom. One of my colleagues had to make a Loom video to show me how to use Zoom. And he said, I cannot believe you are the most non-techie person I've ever met in my life. And so luckily I had some kind colleagues that were just sort of like helping me with basics. But literally once I could use Zoom, I was getting calls. I was getting clients before I could even use Zoom. Okay. I was actually having our first coaching calls were on that just voice. There used to be those voice. And then my clients were like, can we do Zoom, please? I said, sure. And I had to learn Zoom. Okay. So I was already getting clients because I take what's called massive, messy action. I just do whatever I can. I'm not making it perfect. Got clients. They were
Yeah.
great. They said, hey, could we do Zoom calls? I said, sure. Kind of learn Zoom. So I learned Zoom. And now, and then the calls, this is when I started 4 years ago. A couple months in, they're like, could we do Zoom calls? We could see you. I said, sure. And I said to my colleague, could you show me how to use Zoom? But I was already getting clients. So I don't do that thing of making things perfect. That's the first thing. So it took me 8 weeks to get my first client. And I was like, wow, this really has to work because I'd plunked down 10K for this program. I was already in deep debt. Thought this just has to work. So I was very determined that there was no way out. I thought, I need to be successful online no matter what. And I didn't give up. Anybody else might have given up because I had like 900 DM conversations with people, chatting in Facebook Messenger, and 18 sales calls, and I wasn't getting any clients. And on the 18th, I figured out, okay, this is what I'm good at. And the guy was like, okay, have you done this before? I said, no. He said, wait, I'd be your first online client? I said, yes. He said, wow. He said,
Yeah.
wow. And he goes, I'm going to tell my wife that. And then he comes back, he goes, we're hiring you. He goes, we're hiring you because you were very honest and did not lie about, he said, we couldn't believe that you actually admitted that we would be, he said, we thought that was so honest that this woman is in her integrity of not making up testimonials. I said, no. I said, the testimonials I have for offline, so they don't apply to online, and he said, that's amazing. And then he started coaching. And the first call, then I got 2 more clients that week. So I had a group. Okay. And the first call, he comes in and he says, Jeanne, do you believe in the law of attraction? I said, I do believe in the law of attraction with action. He goes, we just a 30 client just from being in your orbit. 30K before he even turned up to the first coaching call. He said, we both know it never would have happened without all the energy that we had just talking to you twice. So, a lot of this is strategy, but a lot of it is being in the vortex of somebody that has a certain energy and now, okay, to where we are now. So the problems were, I had zero tech knowledge. Most people know how to use Zoom, so we're good. I had no clear offer that I had to figure out working on my own because the coaching I was working with did not help me with this a tiny bit. I was struggling. We help our clients with that immediately. And then I figured it out by trial and error, just out there talking to people, seeing what the market wanted. And I thought, okay, after 900 conversations, pretty safe to say all of these coaches don't know how to get clients. So I got to help them figure out this marketing on that I figured out for myself first. So that was it. And also getting better at those sales calls. But once I got the offer, it sold itself because they're like, this woman figured this out of the blue. And a lot of people saw me come online. They saw me come online. they knew I knew nothing, and then they saw me making all this money, and they're like, wait, we got to learn I'm going to have what she's having. So then I got to $1 million, as I said, in 17 months. At this point, we're at about 3 million. Okay. I have a small team, which is great. Not huge. I don't want it to be huge. We test ads all over the wazoo just to make sure that we know what is or not working. Because if I find ads that work, I'll tell my clients about them, the ones that have the budget. And then, I'm building and, I'm going, my next goal is to get to 10 million because then I can give more money away and help more people and do maybe programs that are like for all entrepreneurs. I'm going to be doing a mindset course that's just for everybody. So yeah, I have big plans. However, I am rooted deeply every day into the moment of every day is a joyful, happy, cheerful day, and I love my life and I can be happy no matter what. So it's not about waiting to get to 10 million to breathe. It's on the way. Every day, I'm into the mindfulness, happy no matter what. That I'm not, I'm just happy no matter what and grateful. And eventually, and of course, I'm doing all sorts of strategies, but it's not like waiting for the strategies. And because what I teach my clients is, yes, I want you to be successful, but I also want you to experience happiness on a daily basis, in the moment, doing the work. That's my goal.
That's amazing. So outside of work, what are your hobbies?
Well, actually, talking about piano, I realized that I used to study piano, and my daughters, I put them through, years and years and years of very expensive piano lessons, but I was not thinking of myself. And I thought on Sunday, I'm picking up piano again. So I started practicing again, and I went kind of back. My daughter was, getting back to basics. So I'm going to go back to learning piano that I left off years ago. I used to play certain pieces quite well, but I've forgotten them all. So I'm doing that. I'm also in a bike club. I love cycling. And I also paint. This is one of my paintings in the back there. I'm going to get back into painting. So yeah.
Nice.
And we love hiking and going on the beach and hiking. So we love our hikes and our day trips and biking and taking up piano again. And I'll probably start my painting again.
Okay. Wow. Well, I cannot play piano to save my life. Well, I can. I try to take some lessons, but I quickly proved itself to not be my thing. Painting, I can barely draw a stick figure. So good luck on the on getting back in the piano, and on the business side, that it's the thing that you mentioned, that it's important to enjoy the now in the process of. I don't think that can be understated. That's a very sound advice. Was there anything that you wanted to finish to end off with?
Well, thank you for this conversation. This has been actually interesting for me to delve into. It's good when you're asked questions because it makes you be more thoughtful. So thank you. Yes, I just wanted to share with people. I'm sorry that my phone dings. I just want to share that generally what I like to share with people is that you, if you're listening, are worthy and ready right now. You are worthy and ready right now for whatever it is that you want to do and whatever success that you want to have in your life. I just want to send big love to you.
Yeah.
That people feel like they need to fix themselves all the time. You don't need to fix anything. You are worthy and ready now, as you are, and you are loved. So that if people can understand they're worthy and ready right now, and they're me. I just figured something out that you haven't figured out yet. You're me. I just figured something out. It's not like I'm different from you, and those people were all capable of greatness and having the life that we want. And I'm you, and I was those people that were further ahead of me, and now I'm them. But you're me. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. I love that. Well, I think you will do great on your podcast. Your thoughts are a lot more organized than well, even me that I've been doing the podcasting for a minute. I do a lot of ums and ahs and think, and I'm trying to eliminate that. And you've surrounded yourself, it sounds like, with a team of not only competent technically, but also people that are that sharpen. What's the English word saying? Like iron sharpens iron, right? So you've surrounded yourself with a team that's that's gonna sharpen you into this podcast world. And I have no doubt that you're gonna succeed on that front.
Hey,
So Jeanne Omlor, thank you so much for coming to the Musica Bandana podcast.
thank you. It was a pleasure.